listeners, and welcome to the Downright Upright Show, the place to go to hear out loud and proud what people like you are thinking. My name's Philip Anthony, and I'll be your host today and every Saturday here on AM 950 at 5 p.m. Central. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you're feeling fantabulous, because fantabulous is fantastic and fabulous put together twice as nice. And Matt would usually say, and it saves time. Now, I didn't want to give him any lines today because he's new, and we didn't want to throw a snowball at him in the summertime. So yeah, but we usually say that at the beginning of the show.
Okay,
and then Matt will say, and it saves time.
I love that.
Okay, now you could say it.
And it saves time.
There you go. It saved a lot of time.
It's the most Minnesotan thing to draw attention to not saving time.
We're so silly on this show. Anyway, before we begin, I'd like to introduce my co-hosts. And my usual co-host is Austin.
Hi.
And Matt's on vacation, so Matt will not be here today, but we have Jerome Evans from One Voice Mixed Chorus. He's the executive director of that beautiful chorus, and he's also the host of Bottomless Coffee with Jerome.
Yes.
Hi,
hey,
Jerome.
thank you so much for having me. This is really exciting. I've been on Downright Upright before, but not with Austin.
It's our first time.
Yeah,
You're
so
a
I'm really
virgin with
excited.
Austin. Yes,
It's true. I didn't think there was anything left, but here we are.
here we are. And so June is here, everyone, right?
We did it.
And I want to wish everyone out there and my two wonderful co-hosts today a very happy Pride Month to all of you.
Happy Pride.
Heck
Happy-
yes. Happy Pride.
Yeah, we have to lift each other up. This is getting a little ridiculous. We had a car conversation. We always have car conversations, Austin and I. And I got a little, what's the adjective, please?
You were passionate, and that's
Yes.
not a bad thing, because being passionate and being angry right now, it shows that you are not turning out to, turning off. Like stay angry, stay passionate. It's healthy.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay passionate. That's why I have the show,
Good.
Okay, so before I'm going to tie a few loose ends before we start the show, because it's Pride Month. So I want to enlighten the audience about our events that are coming up in June. And the first one's going to be Golden Valley Pride, June the 13th. Now, the festival starts at 12 noon and it ends at 6 p.m. And it's at 200 Brookview Parkway North in Golden Valley. And AM 950 will be hosting live shows from Golden Valley Pride at the park. So please come down and join us and say hi. We have merch, and I have secret paraphernalia that I'm going to...
Secret
I
paraphernalia.
haven't told you about. I ordered it myself. So if you come down, you can get some of the Downright Upright Show paraphernalia.
Have you been to Golden Valley Pride before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't.
It's my opinion, the best Pride in the Twin Cities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I love TC Pride, but it's great.
If you like a big space
Mm-hmm.
to share your joy without, because some of my friends literally have told me they love TC Pride, but everybody's walking on top of each other.
1,000%.
And they don't like that part of it.
Yeah.
They love the people, they love the vendors and everything else, the sponsors, but the whole thing is, but we're going to go. We're having a show. We love TC Pride, and we'll always support TC Pride.
But Golden Valley Pride is fabulous.
It's
so
fantabulous.
I'm saves time.
and Matt, our co-host, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Tell them about Matt.
So Matt is on the board for Golden Valley Pride.
Oh, really?
And has put a ton of work into it. And he can sing the praises better than I can. But you're right. It's a smaller event that's not as crowded, but it still gives you all the best parts of Pride. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the oldest ongoing Pride festival in the Twin Cities, in Minnesota, I think.
I also heard that it's the largest suburban Pride
Mhm.
in the state of Minnesota, I think.
Okay, that's exciting. I was just excited that it's a tight 12-6.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay.
It's 12 to 6. So come down to the AM 950 tent booth. What do you call it? A booth?
It's a
tent?
booth. And I want to ask, because I was looking through the schedule, your organization is performing, correct?
Entirely possible.
Okay.
We have an artistic director,
Gotcha.
Waigwa, and Waigwa is
Hi.
always booking One Voice Mixed Chorus
Okay.
for something. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I guess
Perfect.
I'll be there after all.
There are amazing performances at Golden Valley Pride too, and you can get. It just feels like you can hear it through the whole park too. Like you can walk around with your family, your friends, and versus TC Pride, which is kind of like little pockets. Like Golden Valley
Yeah.
Pride is just like this one big, beautiful.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Event.
Yes.
And then also AM 950 will be hosting live shows at Twin Cities Pride from Loring Park in Minneapolis on Saturday, June 27th and Sunday, June 28th. And I got the schedule for when the Downright Upright show will be on for Pride, for TC Pride. And it will be on Sunday, June 28th. So we're doing the Sunday live.
Cool.
So if you want to pop over, Jerome, and say hello to us,
Sure.
we would love that.
You said what time?
Because you're part of the family now. You know,
Yeah.
you're the Downright Upright family. Oh, it's going to be at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, 1 o'clock p.m. at TC Pride. And I don't have the tent location yet, but there's a map. You can go on the TC Pride website, and they show all the colors and the numbers, and you just type in AM 950 and
Wonderful.
And we're usually conveniently on a corner.
Okay.
So it's like it's big, easy to
we're
find.
supposed to be
Yeah,
moving,
yeah.
though, so I don't know. We'll see.
One Voice Mixed Chorus does also have a booth at Pride.
Hey.
I also don't know where it is.
Yeah, see, we're all up in the air
Yeah.
today. so
Yeah. We
Just
also-
come. Just come and enjoy yourself. Okay, so let's go into the downright part today. Trump is invoking an executive order that will direct federal agencies to compile state-by-state citizenship lists for voter eligibility, and he is directing the post office, the U.S. Postal Service, to only mail ballots to voters on these approved citizenship lists. Does that sound normal to you? I don't know. Ask it for a friend. This, along with the SAVE Act, should it become a law, would require all American citizens registering to vote or updating their registration information to present documentary proof of citizenship in person. For the vast majority of Americans, this would be a passport or birth certificate. A government-issued driver's license, military ID, or tribal ID would not be allowed. It won't be valid. So anybody want to pick up on that one?
I mean, I will just jump in, and I've said it before on this show. If you think these don't apply to you because you vote every election in the last 20 years and you know you're registered to vote, and I don't live in a city, so this isn't a problem, it still impacts you. And you're still going to potentially have to re-register to vote. For more than half of America, that is going to mean driving an hour or more because you're going to not be able to register through the mail. You're not going to be able to register online. You're going to have to go in person to register to vote. So if you think this doesn't impact you, it absolutely does. And a lot of people don't have the necessary documentation. It's not through any fault of their own. There's a lot of reasons people may not have that documentation. And so this impacts everybody. And
Exactly.
as for, Trump's executive order, what I would say is good luck. Plenty of states are going to see you in court. Plenty of states have already seen you in court on this same issue. And I don't want to kink shame, but this man has to have a humiliation kink because he continues to lose case after case after case. And he just keeps jumping up to bat.
Jerome, did you want to piggyback on that?
Well, I have the attention span of an American. And so I thought the SAVE Act had already been, punted away.
But he's trying to
bring it
invoke
back.
an executive order. So that's a little different. A SAFE Act would have to be passed by Congress, correct? Am I right, Austin?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is something that he waves his wand and it just happens,
Okay, well, that's pretty crazy.
I love your expression.
Nailed it.
That's exactly right.
I mean, to first acknowledge that it needs to be like a congressional act and then say, oh, wait, I couldn't get it done that way. And
Yeah.
so we're going to do it by executive orders.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner. You got it there.
Fanciful thinking.
Exactly.
Delulu.
Very, very, very creative thinking.
It
Yes.
is.
I wish I had half that confidence.
Yes. So also the legislation would invert
No, it is legislation.
Well, the legislation, if it were to pass, I'm talking about the
Okay,
SAVE Act,
okay.
yeah, would invert responsibility to verify a person's eligibility and citizenship status from election officials and the government onto the American citizen. So making citizens convince the government that they're eligible. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is now you as a voter have to convince the government,
The federal government.
that you are eligible to vote.
I
When
guess...
you've been voting for millennia, like me, I mean, now all of a sudden I got to walk in that place with my birth certificate and my...
I guess I have the same issue that I had when it was being brought up before, and is that the Constitution delegates authority to administer elections to the states.
Yeah.
And so the process is, to change the Constitution if that's what you want to do.
Well, yeah. And everything's upside down now, Jerome. I mean, and then another thing that, and I think Austin would be better at this next question because
good luck.
You delved into this and you've told me. So what's happening, for example, in certain states where trans people are not allowed to get a driver's license because they can't put a marker that they want. So how are they going to vote if that should pass, Austin?
And that's the point. And we already know even among, let's put the SAVE Act aside, even current voting across the country, it's very decentralized. You're right that the states have control over how elections are run. And the point of that is part of it is an election integrity thing. When elections are decentralized, it's really hard to rig them. And when they become concentrated, it's easier to do so.
Of course.
Yeah. Even under current election law across the country, it is extremely difficult, particularly for trans people, to vote. They are one of the categories of voters that are most heavily kicked off voting rolls, that have the hardest time proving their identity. The communities that are impacted when we centralize elections and when we put up barriers, it's communities of color, it's trans people, it's our Native communities. These rules that they're trying to implement are 100% to create a results-driven process.
And I'm glad you brought up the Native community because the tribal ID is not even acceptable anymore.
No, and you look at people that live abroad, many of whom are U.S. troops, are not going to be able to vote. This is about stripping away power from people.
Yeah,
I would also just be careful with the way that you phrase some of the things that you're saying, because this is not the law of the land.
Yes. Well, yes, that's why I said potential.
Okay.
Because, again, this is a very lawless government that we have now. Everything, we used to follow the Constitution, at least I remember it that way. And everything that he's, like, for example, putting his name on everything. And this is not all the things he's doing, like creating concentration camps. They call them detention centers to make it sound better, but it's the same old rotten banana, right? But these are things that are not legal to do, and that he's just doing them. And this is why I bring these subjects up, because these are potentially possible to happen if we don't wake up and smell the cappuccino. Right?
Even beyond what's legal or illegal, there's also a question of what's ethical and what's right. And we hear so many times people say, well, this is the law. This is the way the law works, or this is legal to do. Just because something's legal doesn't mean it's humane.
Yes. Okay, so the next subject, because the Downright Upright show is a what do you call it? A lightning round, right?
Yeah.
I was getting that.
Well, we're only on once a week.
Yeah.
So we have to push everything into 1 hour, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But here we go. We're going to try to do it, Jerome. The United States District Court Judge Christopher Cooper ruled that Trump must remove his name from the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts and all signage relating to the Kennedy Center. Yay. The judge also gave Trump only 14 days to have it removed. If Trump defies the court orders, he and the institution's board of trustees will face legal penalties for contempt of court. Austin.
He's also not permitted under this ruling to close the Kennedy Center for the next 2 years. It's going to have to stay open. He doesn't get to close it entirely. And Trump,
did he say he wanted to close it?
Yeah, he was going to close it.
What?
And part of that is he's having trouble getting acts to perform.
Yes. Well, you know who? Oh, Do you know he did choose somebody because everybody's dropping out, that wants to perform at the National Mall. You know, everybody like Martina McBride, the Commodores, a whole bunch of people dropped out, right? Yeah. But he's got a great act to substitute for these people. Do you know who it is?
I don't.
Well, it's ever changing. Actually, we spent the weekend, my spouse and I, hollering back and forth from room to room. So and so just dropped out. Hey, did you see who just dropped out?
But I heard the latest news. And again, this is a pre-recorded show. It may change before it airs. But the last thing I heard is he's going to choose himself.
Yes.
It's going to be a MAGA rally.
It's now a big old Trump rally.
A MAGA rally.
Oh, that's really interesting for a variety of
For the 250th birthday of our nation, we're going to have a MAGA rally.
Well, I recall.
Are you kidding me?
The organizers were saying this was a nonpartisan event.
Right.
They were very clear on that. But when the acts were dropping out, they were like, whoa. We didn't know this was happening. We didn't know this was a political event. And so now to hear that he's planning to appear himself and hold a rally, maybe that was his plan all along.
Maybe. I can't get in his head because that would make me insane. So I could never do that. But what I can tell you is if you're supposed to be celebrating the 250th birthday of the founding of our nation, right? You should have a more popular message, not just MAGA, because MAGA right now only has support from 34% of the American public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the independents have jumped off the Titanic,
and it really kind of throws a wrench in the whole argument that we have to have this ballroom for security reasons if we're going to be out on the. Yeah, I'm just.
What about the reflection pool, or reflecting pool, whatever they call it? He I'm sorry to laugh, but he's. I'm sorry. I can't even get it out of my mouth. He's painting the reflection pool or reflecting pool blue. The whole idea of
a spectrum of blue, because it's not all one color.
Yeah. He's painting it like this. What would you say? Like a royal blue?
He calls it American flag blue, but they're having an issue where it's showing up as different colors in different places. And there's something symbolic. You're right about eliminating the reflection. Just really kind of encapsulates his entire administration's philosophy.
I can't believe he has time to look over the blues in the reflecting pool, given everything that's going on. I do want to just say, because I know it's a lightning round and you're about to move on. Austin, when you talked about Austin, when you talked about hollering from one end of the house to the other, like that's what we fought for, you know,
right?
the right to holler with our spouses.
Yes.
Well,
that's gay life, everybody.
Yes.
Gay life. Well, we have a minute and a half, but I just want to say something, and I want to get your idea about this. He claims, this is what he's been saying, that he is a real estate tycoon and he's good at building things. So the reflection pool, was it reflecting pool, reflection pool? I don't even know.
The reflection pool.
Reflection pool. Okay, thank you. And then the East Wing, of the White House they took a wrecking ball to it.
They did.
I mean, without any congressional approval or
you should see the satellite photos. And I really think that does bring us back to the Kennedy Center, where he decided to make that change. And then we're slowly making our way through court. Now his name has to come down. A lot of this stuff is going to be undone or found illegal in court. And we'll see what if any consequences there will be.
He put listen to this, folks, and I'm not lying. Look it up. He put his name above President John F. Kennedy, who the institution was named after.
And now it's coming down.
Hallelujah. At least we have a judge. Thank you, Judge Cooper. You're amazing. I wish I could shake your hand, Your Honor. Anyway, my name is Philip Anthony. We're going to take a break, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. to the Downright Upright Show. This is the co-host show, first Saturday every month. And I'm back with Austin and Jerome. And it's a lightning round today, as you know, as usual. And so we're going to go on to another subject that's been coming up in the news.
Something light.
No, this is not. No, not with this administration. Nothing's light.
No.
Everything's heavy.
It's downright. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, the last 10 minutes, we're going to try to be what? Upright. Yes.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. Okay. So Trump was instructed, he has instructed his Department of Injustice to conduct a criminal probe against writer E. Jean Carroll for perjury. Yes, imagine. In 2023, Miss Carroll sued Trump for civil damages, claiming Trump sexually assaulted her in a dressing room of a department store. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche stated that he believes Miss Carroll may have perjured herself during a 2022 deposition prior to that trial. The DOJ seldom conducts probes when it comes to civil cases,
Right.
but Trump's retribution campaign is unending. And of course, he doesn't want to pay Miss Carroll the $88 million that the court ruled he must pay her when it comes to the initial sexual abuse case and the subsequent 2024 defamation case. Austin, now look, he doesn't like spending a dime, you know. So the fact that he has to pay her $88 million is the definite impetus for him to do this, to go after her, and lawfare, as we call it, is being invoked by Trump all the time. What say you about this?
So this all stems from allegedly one answer that E. Jean Carroll gave in a deposition related to this. And it was, I don't remember the exact context, but she was asked something about, like, were other people helping pay your legal fees for this? And she responded something like, I don't think so, or I don't know. And as it turned out, somebody had actually, like, helped the law firm that was representing her, like, pay these legal fees. When perjury has a legal standard, and it's not just that you gave a wrong answer, it's that you knowingly gave a wrong answer, like intentionally, to, you know,
Yes.
to lie intentionally, like, for your benefit. You have to prove that somebody knowingly did this.
Yes.
The legal standard, and I'm not a lawyer, but everybody that's looked at this, any talking head you go to, any legal website, they're all saying this does not meet the legal standard for perjury. It's probably going to get thrown out. And I think the end result of this is probably going to be that Todd Blanche is the next person to get the boot, because he's not going to be able to, follow through with this.
Can't do the impossible.
Can't do the impossible. So probably go the way of his predecessors in justice and many other people that have been, fired or let go or retired.
Interesting fact about Todd Blanche is that he was his attorney.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Isn't that funny? Yes. Yeah. I thought the Department of Justice was supposed to be separate and apart from the executive branch of the government. But, even with the Federal Reserve, I mean, he's trying to control every Supreme Court, everything.
Well, one thing that's a little confusing about the timing in this case is why now? Like, this is not a good distraction from what's going on. If you're trying to distract from the war in Iran, okay, bad decision making went there. And now you're trying to distract it with your rape case.
Yeah.
Like, and you're not trying to say that you didn't do it and that, the result was invalid or what have you. Like, you're an innocent man. You're like, well, she also lied about this one thing.
Well, he's trying to dismiss it on a technicality, not the facts of the case. The facts of the case are that he lured her in there and raped her. I mean,
and was found liable.
Yeah,
like
correct.
That's
by a jury, yes. And then defamation was the second case, because what happened was, after the case, the ruling was laid down by the jury, he turned and said, "I didn't do it." She said da 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 da, and she said da 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 da, and that's defaming a woman who won a case against you, and you should have kept your mouth quiet.
Right, and she won that case too.
And she won that case.
See, like I said, I have the attention span of an American. Why would you bring this back up?
Well,
it's an odd choice.
It's an odd choice.
Well, if Matt was here, hi Matt. If Matt was here, he would say, "Look over there."
Yeah.
While he's messing up your life over here. That's how what he does.
I feel like he's running out of places to point to where he's not messing up.
There's a lot
in
of
some way.
to point.
And that's maybe this is like an attempt to divert from the Epstein files by saying, no, I was involved in a civil trial with an adult woman. Like, don't look at the kid stuff.
Adult woman. Yeah, maybe. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, but he said the funny thing was that I have to bring this up. He in the deposition before the case, his deposition, he said, she's not my type.
Oh, that's right.
Meantime, they showed a picture of her when she was younger, and he couldn't identify who that was.
Well, he mistakenly identified it as his second wife.
Second wife, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
so apparently, if you married the woman that you say you weren't attracted to, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
But you know, the man, if he told the truth, the world would come to an end. I mean, it really would. I mean,
he couldn't identify a picture of his former wife. Like,
I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's just, you know, and the thing is, you hear from their supporters, you know, Trump supporters, that he's such a family man. He didn't even want to go to his son's wedding.
No.
He didn't go, right?
No, he didn't. And I think it comes down to he spent far too much time lately. The only things he's being asked to identify and the questions he's being asked to make decisions on are like, is this a whale? Is this a lion? What year is it?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna make me laugh and I can't continue the show.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Because he's so I can't even think of a word.
Incontinent. Maybe he didn't go to the wedding because he might poop his pants.
Oh,
that is a thing.
That's a thing.
And I do just want to say, like, there are people out there that struggle with those issues, and that is a valid thing. And
you're so nice.
We're certainly not making
nice
I don't want to make fun of Trump for that issue, but at the same time, I think the point he so projects this image of masculinity, like he would never have it in himself to even admit that he's aging or dealing with a health issue.
Okay, would it be fair to say that Trump would attack literally
He
anyone?
would.
Okay.
And he does. That's absolutely a thing.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
We won't attack him, but we'll say that he would attack other people.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. That goes without saying.
And I'll never
Absolutely.
understand how that was not the end of his campaign
Mm.
when he attacked a disabled reporter.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Like that.
Yeah. When he called a reporter recently, Piggy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
This is what I'm saying. Like you can't
This is
talk about
insane.
anything without it being like, oh,
Yeah.
But there's
problematic.
A big old bingo board.
But Jerome, it's always something. And the answer from the other side is, oh, that's Trump being Trump.
Do you remember the exhaustion we all felt in his first term?
Oh, this is
It was
nothing.
like, oh, I'm so
That was
tired of
nothing,
that
I mean.
man.
Yeah. Anyway, anybody want to continue with this subject? We're going to move
Sorry,
on to
yeah.
the lightning round here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go on to Delaney Hall. Now, they call it Delaney Hall Detention Center. It's basically a concentration camp. You're holding people against their will. American citizens, some of them are, not all of them are undocumented. Some people may have been felons, some may not. You know, if you came in illegally, that's a misdemeanor. You shouldn't even be held in a detention center for a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor is like jaywalking is a misdemeanor, isn't it?
Well, and again, so you have people that may be without status or maybe out of status, which doesn't necessarily mean you entered the country illegally. It doesn't necessarily
Right.
mean you were even doing anything illegally. You may have been following the immigration process and still got swept up in this. And regardless of if someone did commit a felony, they still are deserving of human rights and clean
yeah.
water and a toilet and it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Those are things everyone is entitled to.
Yeah, the immigration law is so complicated and so on the side of the federal government that you could, I could be put into a detention center for sitting in this chair in a way they don't like. But the conditions that I'm hearing about in that detention center do sound abhorrent and really unnecessarily so.
So
Mhm.
what happened? What's reported to have happened is Senator Andy Kim was pepper sprayed by ICE. Now this is a sitting senator, sitting senator, was pepper sprayed by ICE.
Okay, we're Minnesotan, so you're not going to surprise us with that.
Well, so I'm an old guy, and I don't remember ever hearing that in my life, that a sitting senator of our country was pepper sprayed by ICE. I've never, but I digress. And Governor Mikey Sherrill of New Jersey was prohibited from entering, but eventually she did enter. She was able to enter. No, I'm sorry, Kim was able to enter.
Kim was able to enter. Sherrill has not been.
Yeah, Sherrill wasn't. Yes. So after leaving the facility, Senator Kim stated that he witnessed chaos inside. That's a quote. And described the conditions as heartbreaking and inhumane. He said they were serving detained. Listen to this. He's an eyewitness. He can't lie. He's a senator, because they find out he's lying. That's really bad for him. Okay. He said they were serving detainees, quote, spoiled food that was described as disgusting, unquote. He expressed severe alarm that there was rampant medical neglect. God. Kim reported meeting a pregnant woman who was not receiving medical care she needed, as well as another detainee who had been hospitalized for 2 weeks without her family being able to obtain any details about that hospitalization. And finally, he was concerned about detainees' lack of due process. He noted that there are individuals who have been waiting for months with absolutely no movement on their legal cases. Now, this is kind of reminiscent to me of what happened here in Minnesota, you guys. Except minus the 2 deaths, but we don't know if anybody did die in there. Nobody's allowed in there. So what say you? I mean, I don't know.
Well, and this is none of these concerns are new. Delaney is a privately operated facility that's contracted, as are many of these facilities where people are being housed. And housed is a generous word. Contained is really probably a more apt term. And these complaints about rotten food, disgusting,
maggots crawling on top of the food.
Yeah,
Austin.
absolutely.
Maggots. Would you eat that if
No.
somebody served you that?
And absolutely disgusting conditions, inhumane conditions. You have people that are literally living in squalor, which breeds disease and breeds medical issues, and people are across the country being denied medical care. There was a case of a woman that was swept up in an ICE raid here in Minnesota that was pregnant, that was being denied medical care. You have a family that was held at the facility, the Dilley facility down in Texas, that had been the longest held family in detention, 10 months. They were released finally after a very protracted court battle, and then they were arrested and swept up again, and they tried to put them on a deportation flight. And some of this is intentional. It's absolutely intentional, and it's designed to encourage people to choose to self-deport. They want people, regardless of their status, there are people that have every legal right to be here and have followed every legal process, and they still choose to self-deport because of the conditions there. So part of it is intentional by design to force that. The other part of it is, this is the process, this is the end result of having privately held facilities with little to no regulation, where they are allowed to do this. And you get people that come in who intentionally want to abuse people, who intentionally enjoy that kind of thing, that are attracted to this, that wind up running these facilities.
Austin, I want to ask you a follow-up, because you brought up Dilley. What's going on there? Is that issue solved there, or that's still happening?
No,
or what's going
that is
on
still
there?
happening. And you still have tons of families that are being held there, tons of children that are being held there, people without due process. And Dilley is important because that facility isn't new. This didn't just start in 2025. Dilley's been operational for a long time, holding families. Dilley was in the first Trump administration, where there was the big outcry of children in cages. That was at Dilley. And these claims against ICE and against CPB and the federal agents operating under DHS, again, are not new. DHS was found liable. Their agents forcibly sterilized women at facilities over a course of period of years in the early 2010s. There are tens of thousands of sexual assault complaints that were deemed credible, that they had to settle for. These Fifth Amendment and Fourth Amendment violations, none of this is new. It's just amplified.
I do a clarification. Is the spoiled food, is that something that you've heard before?
Yes, that is long. Like we're talking
Maggots.
2 decades plus, long been complaints from people that have been held in these facilities.
I didn't know about that because as a policy, the U.S. military does not use hunger as a weapon against other countries. So,
Yes,
we will drop food or what have you, and it's not
But we don't
spoiled.
follow the rules
Mhm.
anymore.
It's not
Jerome.
spoiled food.
Yeah, no, I know. But let me
Like
ask
you could be an American detained there,
yes.
and your government would serve you food with maggots.
Mhm.
Oh, well.
Like that's a lawsuit.
Insane. Yes.
Or in some cases, they're also refusing to acknowledge like people that have dietary restrictions for health reasons or for religious purposes. They're not acknowledging that. Like this is what you're being fed. And there have been complaints too that you have people that have, specific dietary requirements and they're purposely being fed incorrect food.
Well, Delaney is in the news for a hunger strike.
Mhm.
Yes,
Right?
that's
so
true,
that's why I
yes.
really zeroed in on the food specifically.
Yes.
And so, I know we have to go on.
No, I wanted to follow up, and I was going to ask you because I want to see what your opinion is about this. How despicable is it that Fox's Greg Gutfeld, did you hear what he said?
Tell me.
All right. This is what he literally said, okay? His response to detainees being fed spoiled food was, quote, this is a quote, "Yeah, but it's in small portions," Gutfeld said, later adding, "Maggots or not, the food is dietitian approved, and, quote, who cares if there are maggots?" Is this supposed to be a legit news reporter, Jerome?
I don't know him, and it sounds like I don't want to know him.
He's a major reporter on Fox.
Well, see,
News.
I don't even recognize Fox News as news. It's the worst kind of entertainment in my mind, and so I don't watch it. I don't listen to it because I know
literally
how bad
said
it is.
it's okay that they eat maggots.
I think that's ridiculous, and
it's detainees.
Like,
they it's dietitian.
I think back on our society. And I'm like, at what point would it have been okay to give anyone spoiled food? And I don't like I might be calling this incorrectly. I think we catapulted spoiled food onto our enemies in the medieval times, intentionally to spread disease and to sow discord. That's really beyond for him to say that's okay.
Yes. And the only time I've ever seen that food is when some people leave cat food out for cats, and if there's no cats around, there's nothing around to eat it, they start growing on the food, and that's what it looks like. Now, would you eat something with bugs? This is insane.
I put my compost in the freezer, and then on the day the organics people are coming, I take it out of the freezer and I take it to the curb. Okay, I am not ever interested in seeing maggots. I have a deck. I don't want flies.
Yeah.
I'm not. I pick up my dog's poop because I don't want anything in there.
I want to close this segment up by saying, in Texas, because and having to do with Dilley, there's James Tallarico, the Democrat, running against Ken Paxton, who is the is he the Secretary of State or Attorney General?
AG.
Attorney General, yes. Who is the most corrupt human being that's ever held office. He was impeached by his own party in Texas. So those people in Texas, they have to go out and vote for Tallarico if they want this facility closed, because at least if we get back the Senate, something could possibly be done, right? Austin, what say you?
Potentially, I hope. I mean, better position than we have been in a long time.
Yeah, House and Senate, of course. You have to use both, because if you just have the Senate or just the House, it's still an issue. But anyway, we're going to have to take our second break, you guys,
okay.
and then we'll try to uplift in the last one if we can, because
this is really informative, though. This is good information.
I'm glad that you think so, because I always pick subjects that I think people want to know about what's going on with human beings in our own country. Anyway, my name's Philip Anthony. This is the Downright Upright Show here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Downright Upright Show. This is our co-host show, the first Saturday of every month. And I'm here today with Austin and with Jerome Evans. Matt's on vacation today, but he will be back for our live Golden Valley show. He will be Pride show, and he'll be back for TC Pride live show. And I hope you all come down to the park and visit us. But before we go into Pride, because we're going to talk about that too.
Yes.
We have our guru, Minnesota guru here to tell us about what's going on in Minnesota politics.
Oh, fun.
For this month, and take it away, Austin.
Well, we can just wrap this up real quickly because I'm sure like most people watch like draft and are always rechecking that. I'm always rechecking candidate filings. And this little segment right here is pre-recorded, so things may change between now and when it airs. But both major political parties in Minnesota had their conventions over the weekend. Out of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party convention, there were really no surprises. That's the news. Amy Klobuchar was endorsed as the candidate, the DFL candidate for governor. Peggy Flanagan was endorsed as the DFL candidate for the Senate race. On the Republican side, things were a lot more dramatic. They had issues with their voting for their balloting. The convention went on for a long time. They wound up going 10 rounds before they endorsed Kendall Qualls as the candidate for governor. And up to this point, that was a pretty big upset because Lisa Dameth was expected to be the person endorsed. And she had said, going into it, I'm going to honor and abide by the endorsement. She has not, at this point in time, issued a new statement on that. She's kind of left the door open if she is going to jump in and run in a primary or not. And again, I keep refreshing this and have not seen her file yet. But we'll see. I would expect that she will throw her hat in and based on what happened over the weekend. Mike Lindell, who we all know as My Pillow and or from his failed Dominion lawsuit issues, has already said he's going to a primary. And on the DFL side, in the Senate race, you've got Angie Craig is going to be going to a primary as well against Peggy Flanagan. And then on the Republican side, Michelle Tafoya is said she's going to a primary. So it'll be interesting. Be sure you vote August 11th. It's coming up real fast.
Yes, make sure you've registered. Go to the Secretary of State website and register to vote. Because if you don't register to vote, I will be mad at you.
Now, can you register at the election for the primary?
Yes, we have same day registration in Minnesota.
We do have same day registration.
Oh, we do. Okay,
so
Minnesota's
get mad until people don't vote.
Well, I've been registered for millennia.
Minnesota is one of the easiest states in the country to
thank
vote
God.
in.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so in LGBT news, as you know, in the last segment, we always want to talk about LGBT news, and LGBT advocates rallied at Seattle City Hall last week, calling on Mayor Katie Wilson to declare a civil emergency as more transgender people and their families are relocating to Seattle seeking safety because of discrimination in their former red states. These advocates are asking for more adequate funding as resources are being stretched very thin. According to a study from the Movement Advancement Project at the University of Chicago, that since November of 2024, listen to this statistic, you guys, over 400,000 trans and gender nonconforming folks and their families have moved to safer blue states. Who wants to pick up on? You want to try that one, Jerome?
Welcome. Welcome. Is it a state of emergency or is it a state of celebration?
Well, in Seattle, they want more funding. They need because everybody's going there, so they need resources.
I would say Seattle would not be my number one choice. I would come to Minneapolis. The cost of living is a lot lower.
Yes.
People are wonderful. It's summer now. You can have a really fun time at the lake.
We just got voted one of the top 15 food places in the world. So yes,
you can eat. The food is good here.
Okay. Well, because a lot of people come here because it was a trans refuge state, right?
Still is.
Well, Austin, what did the Supreme Court say about that? I thought they ruled about something about trans refuge, or that's still on the docket.
I don't think. Yeah, I think we might be conflating two different things.
Oh, that's conversion, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Maybe you're right. Yeah. But there's so many things happening that, my brain is,
Well, I guess I don't want to minimize what's going on in Seattle. Are people moving there and then having a really hard time?
No, it's a very friendly state
Okay.
for trans people, but they need Seattle, the local metropolitan areas of Seattle. If everybody bombards the city, they need resources, money to help these people, give them housing and find them jobs and yada, yada, yada. And
mean, I'm not going to go paint with a broad brush and say that the people who are moving can't find jobs, don't have housing.
Yeah, but when you have a mass movement of a lot of people, right? Is that what the issue is?
I think it's more about you have certain programs that are targeted for families and or individuals. And, those expectations for the funding was set based on here's kind of our population. And now it's drastically changed. And, by the time you get new funding and stuff, it doesn't always necessarily keep up with the demand, which is true for any group. But when you do have this mass influx of people now that are all kind of looking to use the same resources, it does get stretched then.
Yes. Okay. Well, again, like Jerome said, Minnesota is a great state for you to come visit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check us out.
Well, now we're going to uplift. We have 3.5 minutes. So I want to talk about, again, the Pride events that are coming up and what we're going to be doing. Again, June 13th is Golden Valley Pride from 12 to 6. AM 950 will be hosting live shows from Brookview Park, and it's 200 Brookview Parkway North in Golden Valley. They have a website, so you can go to Golden Valley Pride and check out the map. There'll be, times for different performers are going to be on the main stage, and we'll be doing a live show here at the Downright Upright show with me and Austin and Matt, and Jerome's going to pop in and say hi. I hope, right?
Me too.
Yeah. And then also on June 27th and 28th, TC Pride, Twin Cities Pride, is going to be broadcast from Loring Park in Minneapolis, and the Downright Upright show will be live on the Sunday, June 28th, from our tent, from an AM 950 tent. And then afterwards, this is what I was told to say. After the show, all the hosts and co-hosts will go to the table and do a meet and greet. Isn't that exciting? We're going to get to meet our fans, people that love us.
Yeah, stop by.
Yeah, stop by and say hi. We have merch. We have, AM 950 merch. We have everything. So, and we want to uplift you. If you have anything to ask us, maybe you have a subject that you want us to bring up that's LGBTQ focused, we can bring that up on the show.
We want to hear from you.
As a guest who's met just about everyone, I think, who has a show on AM 950, everyone is so kind and so welcoming and so inquisitive. Great conversationalists, obviously. So you should definitely take them up on this meet and greet. It'll be a good time.
Yes, thank you. That's that's nice.
It's nice when the truth is so easy.
And don't forget, folks, that Jerome Evans has a wonderful podcast on YouTube called Bottomless Coffee with Jerome. And he is one of the greatest and most uplifting of our LGBTQ advocates. You have a lot of our folks on your show. Do you want to talk about that for a few seconds before we end the show here?
Oh, if it's only a few seconds, I'm actually going to pivot back to One Voice Mixed Chorus. We have a concert over Pride called Royalty. And so if Twin Cities Pride is too crowded for you, come on over to the Ordway Theater in St. Paul. We have a concert called Royalty on Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon.
Wow. Thank you, Jerome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm going to speak on behalf of Austin and thank you, Jerome, for being here today with us.
My pleasure. This is really fun.
Yeah, you're like part of the family now. You're a Downright Upright show.
Yay!
Love you so much. And thank you, Austin, again every month for being a co-host. And on behalf of the Downright Upright show and AM 950, I want to say thank you to my listeners, and we're going to say goodbye. We're going to wave a flag and say Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.